A lot of people are struggling to defend on eFootball 25 in comparison to eFootball 24, myself included when the update first released. However, after analysing my gameplay, I figured out what the main difference is between the two games in how defending works, and after making adjustments, I improved my gameplay massively. So the main key difference in how defending works in eFootball 25 is that matchup isn't as strong, and you definitely have to adjust accordingly. You can see here my opponent gets through the middle of my defence so easily, through the midfield and through the centre backs, and puts it in the back of net with ease. If we rewind it here, we can actually see what's going to happen if we slow it down. So look, we pause here. My opponent has three real options. He can continue going up and continuing his momentum and his pace. He can kind of come to a stop in the middle and dead stop, or he can go to the left. He can kind of slow down and go to the left, or try and keep his momentum and go to the left. If he keeps momentum and goes to the left, the ball will go loose. So his best bet would be to slow down. So those are the three options. Now, I'm aware of this. I do concede the goal here, and I am aware of this. But if we were playing eFootball 24, what I would do is I would cover for him continuing his momentum and continuing to sprint up towards my left back. However, at the same time, I would hold matchup, and what that would do is if my opponent did choose to stop in the middle or slow down and go down to the left, matchup would activate, turn my player around, and Van Boyten's leg would stick out and we'd get a tackle. So that's how I'm playing at the moment. Sorry, this is how I'm playing in this clip. This clip's a few days old now. I've adjusted my gameplay after this clip, but that was how I was playing here, and you can see Van Boyten just completely overshoots. And because matchup, I did hold matchup here, but because it's not as strong, it didn't pull me back in when my opponent dropped the shoulder and then went down the other way. And then in the same game, there's actually another instance of this. Here it is. So the ball gets played into my opponent on the wing with Neymar here. I'm a goal down, so I want to get the ball quick, so I'm going to chase. So we stop it here. So he's got two options. Now from this frame, this is the frame you'll know what your opponent's decided. I know from this frame my opponent's decided to slow down and go to the left. But when the ball gets played into him, he has two options. He can go down to the left like he is choosing to do, or as I kind of said earlier with Stoichkov, he can go dribble upwards, continue his momentum into this space between Van Boyten and Dixon there. So that's what I have to cover. So you can see with the arrow, I'm holding full sprint and I'm aiming up to cover him dribbling into the middle there where Van Boyten is. But at the same time, I'm holding matchup because I'm aware that, you know, there is a possibility he will continue going to the left. So if I was on eFootball 24, right about now, you can see that my opponent has chosen to slow down. He's not going to continue with the pace. He's going to go down the left and try use the momentum of my defender against me. In eFootball 24, that's not a problem for me, because when Dixon is continuing to run where he is, matchup, I'm holding it, it's going to take charge, it's going to slow him down, he's going to put a leg out. And even if Neymar does manage to get by him in eFootball 24, because matchup is so strong, Dixon is going to challenge him and it will slow Neymar down and allow me to get another player like Pep Guardiola there for the back, Edgar Davids, or pull Van Boyten across. But with matchup now being weaker, which I think is a good thing, when we play the ball, when the ball gets played in and he decides to use the momentum against him, even when I'm holding matchup, I can't recover quick enough, and then Neymar is completely free to run down the wing into the space. And you can see here's an example. Keep an eye on Guardiola and the colour of the circle around him. When that circle is green, it means I'm holding sprint, and when it goes white as so, it means I slow down. So it's a very simple change. It's a change that's been needed in the game for so long. It's a simple case of you have to start thinking about how you're defending now. You can't just mindlessly hold matchup and allow that kind of hold your hand and recover for you. So I'm very glad now we've changed this. I was struggling at the start of the game. I was getting win, draw, win, loss, you know, that type of thing. But once I figured it out, after that first example there, the first two examples with Stoichkov and Neymar, I adapted my game, realised what's happening with matchup, and then I've had a lot more fun on the game.